Week 9. Bills, Skins, Haskins. That's nice. That's got a nice ring to it. I never thought of that before.
What are you doing?
I'm shooting an episode.
I want to shoot.
You want to shoot it too?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
I see.
And we're joined by Ariana. You want to wear a hat? You want one of those? This one? Cool. We got the game so she can follow along.
This is what
We're not there
happened.
yet. Not a whole lot happened as far as we are concerned, unless you count Hopkins kicking 3 field goals. Skins start with the ball. Peterson comes out and gets 10 yards.
He was wanted and he fell down. And the ball was out.
But immediately there's a flag, an illegal formation on number 66.
And he's put in that way.
So then we got Richardson. Richardson gets 7. Haskins moving the ball around. Peterson goes for another 3. And then Haskins runs with the ball a little bit. Doesn't really matter because the drive goes nowhere and we punt. So then the Bills come out and get a touchdown. So great, 7-0. Coming back out, Sims gets 20 yards-ish. Again, my note taking isn't super on point, so roughly 20 yards. McLaurin gets 20 yards. Peterson gets 4 yards. Then we got an incomplete to McLaurin. They're still working that out. Got an incomplete to Smallwood. Take it,
And
Ariana.
ink smaller is what you get some fire in, like this.
Oh, like a little bit of, like a small wood to
Small wood to be on a fire.
make a little fire
Yeah, make a fire.
out of some small wood. Okay, so where were we?
Yeah.
So again, small wood, incomplete, we punt again.
One in and the
Didn't-
ball goes bounce.
Bills come out, deep ball.
Now they are going and load the ball and then that guy catched it.
Sweat and I his team up to get a sack.
Now,
Allen
let's let Uncle D start the time.
fumbles the ball, but he recovers. Doesn't matter. There's a flag on the Bills anyway. Bills go and get a field goal. There it is.
Here he is.
Oh,
This
actually-
is a fielder and I saw a puppy waving like this.
10-0. Peterson gets 18. Peterson gets 17. This is the Peterson drive right here. Peterson gets another 20. Smallwood gets 2. Harmon gets 6. And then Haskins loses a yard. So fortunately, Hopkins delivers 29-yard field goal. Skins are on the board.
This is me. My name is ARIANA.
So then we got this Andre Roberts kick return. He used to play for us too. Dropperts. Remember Dropperts? That was him. This guy takes it back to the 40-yard line. But if you look at this, it looks like Roberts stepped out of bounds, but no one caught it and no one challenged it, and so it didn't matter. They made it down to the 40-yard line. So then the Bills get another touchdown, and you can blame Norman for this one. It looked like it was Norman's fault. She's gonna go get the kitty. But it turns out it wasn't a touchdown. Oh, there goes Nate. So that's good, okay? And then the defense holds them. They try to get in, they don't get in. They try to get in, they don't get in. And then they go for it on 4th down, and they get in. Touchdown. So 17-3. Who's keeping track? Sims gets himself a nice little kick return. Peterson gets 9 yards. Peterson gets 15 yards. Smallwood gets a couple yards. There he goes. Peterson gets a nice little screen, gets about 15 yards.
This is Maui.
There's Maui.
Say hi to Maui. Hi. He says meow if you squeeze him really tight.
So then Peterson gets a couple yards, and then Haskins overthrows Richardson, and then Hopkins gets a field goal. So another field goal for Hopkins. Cool. Second half rolls around, flag on the Skins, holding on number 97. But the defense holds. The Bills.
I go over the gate.
Then they go for on 4th down, and we hold them. Turnover on downs.
And now, I know I love rainbows. I have blue eyes. I like jumping on trampolines.
So then Peterson gets nothing. Richardson gets the first down. Haskins to Richardson for the
We
first
paint
down.
a lot.
And then Peterson gets about 8 yards. It's sweet stiff arm. I mean, this is
And now,
Peterson's
sweets,
stiff arm.
we watched Moss and the Bear.
Then we got a false start on the tight end, whoever our tight end is at this point.
Look, you can hold him.
And then they try this little screen to Smallwood and lose 6 yards, so that's not good. Go to Quinn for 8 yards. Drive goes nowhere, we punt.
Now look. Now,
Punt.
this is Maui. Maui dancing.
Defense is looking
I
good.
was dancing.
Bills are picking up some flags,
Look, flags. Here's Maui's toes.
but they stuffed him and they
Hit his
punt.
face.
But then the punt was all wonky, messed up the punt. I don't know what happened. I gotta go back and
Look,
watch this. I
the
gotta watch this right here.
picture is a goal. In
he
the
punts.
picture, you may
And whatever
have
happened,
heel
it was like the worst punt you've ever seen.
I'm ARIANA.
So the Skins have it at the 35-yard line. The dude, he just punted, and we already have it at the 35-yard line.
Guys, he listened to me. Wow, he's new. He's really a baby. He doesn't grow up yet.
Peterson loses a few yards, and then Richardson gets the first down.
And then the red ones are the Mexicans.
That's right. And then Haskins gets sacked. And then McLaurin has himself a good catch, but we got to settle for another field goal. Hopkins delivers. So
This smells yummy.
that's who we play next. We play them next.
And this.
That might actually be a good game.
This?
That's who we played. Yep.
Yeah, while you're watching that.
Yep, that's them. And then there's us. There's us right there.
That one.
Yep.
Not this.
And then we hold the Bills punt. Defense is coming on now. Haskins overthrows the Quinn. Peterson gets 4 yards. Richardson gets the first down. Peterson gets 0 yards. And then McLaurin gets 4 yards.
Say bye, Maui.
Haskins runs for the first down. This was nice. Haskins, this is what we're talking about. Haskins can move when he needs to, more than some other people. Then we go incomplete to Quinn. Peterson gets a little something, but there's a holding. These guys were out there playing. This was a football game they were playing. Then we go incomplete to McLaurin, and we punt. Drive was nowhere. So
This is Uncle D's decorations over here. This is his lights. These are blower lights.
and then Allen fumbles the ball. Bills come out. Allen fumbles the ball.
Here's my jacket. It has snow on it.
But the Bills recover. Then Hamilton's got a good stop.
Look, this is my nails. See?
And then the Bills punt. So that was a good
And
hold by
that
the
is
defense.
sunny. You see that shade and sunny?
But on this punt, you look at the way they let it roll. Like you guys, you understand that you don't want it to roll towards your end zone, and they let it roll and bounce. You're like, what are you doing? Special teams, Special Olympics. Like, what are you thinking here?
Here.
Is that a new book?
Yeah, I like this book.
That's a pretty cool book.
They are gonna be hope.
Quinn's got big hands, but he might not be the smartest tool in the shed. Haskins keeps it again, runs for 2. Peterson loses a couple, and then there's this bad snap, and
What is
Haskins
this?
basically gets sacked. And we punt. Bills go down,
And that's
score a touchdown.
cold.
McLaurin gets a first down. Haskins gets sacked
Boss,
again.
he turns little. The boy's like, too big.
So then we go incomplete to Harmon. By this time, it doesn't really matter.
He's 1 and out of the match.
Oh, what is that? Some green ooze.
Maybe he load up.
So then Sprinkle catches it, but then he
And
fumbles
tail
it.
is a big tail.
But then Harmon recovers it, so we get it. It's all good. Go for it on 4th
And
down.
then
There's
they
a flag.
They dropped the monster, and that big monster tried to go under the bed.
Yeah. So we go for it on
And
4th.
and this, he's falling out of my. Ooh.
So it's a turnover on downs.
And so the stories and
Long story short.
and that's it.
Long story short.
And I'm gonna put it back in my bed. I'm gonna be back and seeing it.
Whoop.
I just did a lot.
So turnover on downs, game over. That's it. Takeaways from this game: Haskins looked decent. Okay, 24-9. 9 is like our number. Like, that's our sweet spot. 9 points. Another game for Hopkins. This game was all Hopkins. Haskins was 15 for 22, 144 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Hey, Peterson was 18 for 108 rushing. Haskins was 3 for 14 rushing. Smallwood was 2 for 5, 127 total rushing yards. Richardson was 4 for 42. My neck hurts. McLaurin was 4 for 39. Peterson was 1 for 22. Sprinkle was 1 for 16. Simmons was 1 for 12. Quinn was 1 for 9. Harmon was 1 for 6. And Smallwood was 2 for -2. Sprinkle had a fumble, and Norman had a forced fumble, so that's cool. Ioannidis had a sack. Sweat had a sack. So,
Here's Parrot.
so for
this
his
is my
first-
Parrot. Say hi, Parrot.
Hi, Parrot. For his first game out, he didn't look too bad. No interceptions, took a few sacks, but who doesn't?
And he fell down, and this is ARIANA.
He fell down a few times.
I've been talking a lot.
Pretty good. As good as anyone else would have done.
Parrot right here so we can see it.
Not great play calling. I think a lot of people would just chalk this up to Callahan not being very good or whatever. But obviously, Peterson was great. They should have switched it up and adjusted in the second half and switched to more passing game.
Here's
whiz,
Mojo.
Mojo.
Mojo is a big fluffy down, and Mojo's coming in.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mojo.
it's Mojo.
Yeah, Mojo.
He's
Hi,
a
buddy.
good Ricky
Ooh,
Bowling.
good.
He's a really good baby.
Okay.
He kisses all day.
All right, now out, out. Go on.
And he's going out now.
Okay.
And now he's
No.
coming back.
Out, Mojo. Go on, go on. Questions. I mean, no questions. Okay. So we're gonna go see what G-Paw thought of the game. Well, we got our wish.
Well, for now, hopefully it carries over the bye week and into the following week against the Jets.
Well, that's what, if you've heard some of the reports, like, I don't know, insiders or people in the press who have heard from, like, Doug Williams or somebody that, like, we're going with Haskins after the bye. But then Callahan refuses to name a starter, you know, or if he's not refusing to name a starter, he's refusing to say, we're sticking with Haskins from here on out. He's said that, yeah, Haskins is going to be the guy after the bye against the Jets, but we're not saying he's the guy going forward. So who knows what the hell. This is kind of what we were talking about. After the bye, you know, Haskins had his start. People pretty much said he didn't look terrible, you know? They said he did, like we've been saying. He did as well as either of the other dickheads would have done in there. And yeah, we didn't score a touchdown or win the game, but he didn't throw any picks. There wasn't anything crazy. He ran for a first down. Like, we're seeing, it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, he didn't look bad. He looked pretty good. He was cautious. You know, he's still overthrowing occasionally, but, you know, for crying out loud, it's his first start. They still have issues when they get near the goal line. Maybe if Geis is back, maybe that will take care of some of that, because Peterson's better when you got a lot of open field. When you start containing them with only 10 yards to the goal line, then that defensive line is all packed in there, and he's really the guy to do that. So they've got to figure that crap out. Again, the defense, for the most part, did what they needed to do for most of the game. I mean, up until that last score in the fourth quarter, hell, we still could have won that damn thing. Offensively, they're able to move the ball downfield. They got a lot of different targets. Peterson did a lot. There was a lot of good things going on, but they've got to come up with some more creative plays when they get near that goal line and not leave it up to Hopkins. But at least Hopkins delivered.
Yeah.
They got to make a decision on this quarterback thing.
Yeah.
And if they go back to Keenum, then we are just shit out of luck.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. If they go back to Keenum, they're shooting themselves in the foot, and they might as well hire Gruden back, because Callahan isn't making the right decisions either. There you go. The only thing that concerns me about the Jets, I'd be more comfortable if we were playing the Jets in New York.
Yeah, I say we could win.
So we'll see.
But the winning is really an afterthought at this point. Like, we're looking real good for the draft right now, you know? Like, I think the Bengals are the only winless team. I'm fine with not winning any games. I'm fine with sticking right there at one win and getting that first or second pick in the draft, because first pick's gonna take a quarterback, and assuming Haskins does decent for the rest of the season, we don't need that. We can get somebody really good, but it's not about winning games anymore. We don't need to win games. Winning games isn't gonna get us anywhere. Close losses? That's what I want. I want close losses with Haskins at the helm. That's all I want to see. Because a win is actually going to hurt us now. Because we're planning for the future. Wins are not going to help us. But close losses, we need to play that long game now and be competitive and look good and have Haskins come along but lose the games. You know, we need Haskins, we need Hopkins to come in there at the end for that game-winning field goal and miss that one. A win at the Jets doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But a close loss at the Jets, that's money in the bank.
As far as teams looking at that same scenario, though, unbelievably, we are not totally the bottom team in the toilet right now. That goes to the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals are 0-8.
Yeah.
Last I looked.
I like that.
Tied with us at 1-7 are the Jets, are the Dolphins, and are the Falcons.
Yeah.
So there's some big competition in the toilet bowl division.
Yeah.
As far as who's going to get those first round draft picks. So it's hard to say how that's going to pan out.
Yeah. If we can if we can go and have Haskins come along over these next few games and lose them all, but then go and beat the Cowboys to finish the season off, that's as good as I could ask for at this point, you know?
Yeah, now you're talking about just momentum as far as the team itself. Give them something to work on. Give them something to go into the offseason with, that at least they accomplished this.
Yeah.
To be able to beat the Cowboys last game in the year, and by that time, maybe for the Cowboys, that comes down to a do or die.
That'd be good. We knock them out of playoff contention or something?
Knock them out of first round anyway and force them into a wild card.
Yeah.
Right? That would be, yeah.
Because who we got next? For Haskins' sake, a win at the Jets would be good for him. So, okay, give him that. He deserves that one. If we can go out there and beat the shit out of the Jets, good for Haskins. He deserves that win. But then what? We got the Lions coming up, the Panthers. We can lose those games.
It's tough.
We can lose those ones close.
Easily.
Yeah. So
we can lose them easily.
Let's lose those ones close. Give him the win against the Jets, but have him looking better. You know, Giants, Eagles, lose them both. We're gonna lose against the Giants last game against the Giants. We always do. But then beat the Cowboys to finish off the season. Good job, Haskins. Let's go to the draft.
Yeah, but you know, at least there's a few things that last week or so, this last week in particular, not that many penalties.
Nope. 4, I think, something like that.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to be able to beat the Jets. If we lose to the Jets, the other toilet bowl team at 1-7, if we lose to them at home, man, that's gonna knock a lot of wind out of the sails. I
don't see us that. I don't see it happening though. I think we're gonna win that one handily. Well, not handily. Should we get in the end zone? I don't think we can leave it up to Hopkins to win this game. If we can get into the end zone and score at least one touchdown, I think we will beat the Jets.
Overall, I enjoyed last week's game. I mean, there just looked like a lot of potential there from the start, you know. And so, yeah, you know, I think the Jets is definitely doable. It's going to come down to who they put in as quarterback. Yeah, well, the last I looked, Keenum is still questionable health-wise.
Okay, well, that's good. Because we talked about this. Like, they can't go flim-flamming back and forth. And now we finally got Haskins in there with a legitimate reason. And you can't go back to Keenum now. You cannot. I think Callahan painted the picture that, no, Keenum's our guy when he's healthy. And it's like, asshole, you cannot do that. You can't go back to Keenum now. You can't. Callahan, he's not the future. He's not. So
no.
Get through the rest of the season, get him out of there too, and I think next season we'll have a better situation coaching wise, no matter what, no matter who's in there.
So what are your thoughts for bye week?
I'm gonna cover the Cowboys-Vikings game, I believe.
Okay.
So I'm gonna recap that game.
So hopefully it does become the Washington Haskins after the bye week.
Let's hope.
Okay, sounds good. Hail to the Redskins.
Hail to the Redskins. Decent game. You know, we didn't score a touchdown, and we haven't for like, you know.
He's coming back.
3 games or whatever, but it's fine. Touchdown is overrated.
This is Uncle D's name. Jumping up, burn down.
So it is what it is. Now it's time for the bye week, though. Forget about it. Haskins got to start. Maybe he'll start for the rest of the season. Who knows? Out, Mojo. Go on. That's all. That's all we can hope for is that Haskins starts after the bye week against the Jets.
This is Maui.
And no one got injured. Hey, we're having games here where no one's getting injured. That's awesome.
This is Walkabout Baby Maui. Put the kitties and rewind the train and feed the buffaloes. The buffaloes.
Oh. So, next week we're on bye.
And all these humans, I saw that human drop the ball.
Next week we're on bye, which means I'm going to be covering a different game. Not the Redskins.
Uncle D go to
a winning team.
Farm.
Very excited about that. And then we'll come back and play the Jets. And hopefully with Haskins. But that's it. That's it for this week. Haskins started. Done deal. Good show. No touchdowns. Doesn't matter. On to the bye week. We made it. Week 10.
You know, cats don't like bats. But we take the bats because Maui was dirty. But he still smells a little dirty.
All right, Ariana. So that's it for this week. That's the episode.
Okay.
We did it. So.
Bye. This press off is over. And Uncle D is done for the rest of the day. Say bye, us.
Bye, us.